And we're back with some more Atlanta Thrashers franchise mode. And in this one, I believe we're going to go through all of year number 9, I believe it is. As this year is a Olympic year, I believe. And if we take a look at the schedule, if we go to February, there's a large break from the 14th all the way up until March 1st. So I believe that would be the time for the Olympics. So it'd be interesting to see if we can get ourselves a national team job. So I think that'll be fun if we can do that to wrap up this GM mode, because I think this GM mode is coming to an end soon. This might be the last year, if not the second to last year. Maybe we'll go one more year after this, but I think that's it. So after 1 month, we are 8-1-1. Pretty safe to say we're still a good team. Eric Stahl is absolutely killing it, as we see by his grades here. 87 offensive grade. I can only imagine what his actual numbers are looking like. Oshie's doing very well offensively as well with that 81. Defensively, let's see, Phillips, Stahl, Boyle, Pitkinen all doing very well. Salmela as well with the 67. And in net, you have Niemi with the 80 grade. So once again, I can only imagine good things from him. Let's check out the stats. So Oshie actually leading our team with 18 points in 10 games. Stahl with 16 and 8. He must have gotten a little injury there. Kovalchuk with 16 points in 10 games. You have 6 for Wisnowski, 5 for Boyle, 5 for Peltonen, 4 for Higgins, Phillips, Nash, McKenzie, Korpikoski, and Ludman. 3 for White, 2 for Pitkinen. So Pitkinen off to a bit of a slow start this season. Christensen, Knubel, Kennedy, and Vasicek all with 1. Salmela, Grabner, and Carvalho have no points. And let's check out the goalie stats. Pavlich has a 926 in 5 games played, and Niemi has a 917 in 6 games played. So not bad. Certainly not bad to start up the season 8-1-1. No complaints here, really. I do wish that Pitkinen would pick it up as far as his point production goes, but as long as we're winning games, I guess I don't really mind who's getting the points. And a quick look at the standings. We are actually in second in the Southeast, as Washington has already played 13 games. They have 10 wins on the season already. So I would imagine we'll be able to catch up with them, though. We look like, obviously, a very good team this year. So with that being said, let's go another month and see what November brings us. Yeah, I think we can go this season here. We're after November here. 16-6-2 is our record. Everything's looking good on paper. Stahl with 25 points in 16 games. He had another injury before, and I believe he's still out, but it was only day-to-day, so he should be back soon. Boyle's getting it done. Everyone's just chipping in. Well, at least for the players that we're used to chipping in, And then as we take a look at goaltenders, you have a 922 for Pavlich in 9 games and a 917 for Niemi in 17 games played. So really no complaints from me. I guess we just keep it going, and we'll take this thing up to the trade deadline, I suppose. If there's any moves we want to make, we'll make them. If not, then we'll just go the rest of the season, because once again, this team seems to be basically on automatic here. Wow, that is a big injury. Rick Nash, injured with a fractured skull indefinitely. He is gone for the year. That is at least 6 months. So that's probably cutting into the Stanley Cup Finals as well. I don't think he even returns for the playoffs, honestly. That is unfortunate. Ilya Kovalchuk has now gone down with a torn back muscle for 3 to 4 months. Oh my goodness, that's Kovalchuk and Nash. That is 2 of our top 6 wingers. We may have to make a trade after all, based on the way this is going. I mean, we're still in a good spot. We're 25-10-2, but still, that is a long time to go without 2 of our top wingers. Oh, these injuries are ridiculous, dude. Eric Stahl now with a fractured fibula for 3 to 4 months. You cannot make this up. Oh my goodness. That's our entire first line. That is our entire first line out long term. Fractured skull, fractured fibula, torn back muscle. Oh my goodness. Yeah, what is our luck this year with injury? I mean, you just can't make this up. These injuries are ridiculous. Yeah, my hand has been forced here, boys. So you know what? I'm going to try trading for Joe Thornton. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, because as we take a look at Joe, he's got the 4-star ability. He's going to be very hard to trade for. But he's on the 19, 26, and 8 Boston Bruins, who obviously aren't in the chase this year. And he's 30 years old. So I figured maybe, just maybe, Boston would be willing to give him up if they got the right package. So let's try to make an offer for him. Because going this long without guys like Stahl, Kovalchuk, Nash, I mean, that's just insane. So, you know what? We may as well just go all out here. I will give you 3 first-round picks for Joe Thornton. I mean, once again, we're not in a bad spot by any means. We're still 35, 16, and 3, so I'm pretty confident we'll make the playoffs. But without those guys for so long, I'm a bit it makes me a bit nervous for the playoffs, you know. And that's not even including any other injuries we might possibly get between now and then, you know. So I'm just hoping that we'll be able to make this move happen. Yeah, this isn't happening. I don't think this is happening. I tried sending them some salary the other way in Mike Knuble. I gave them a second-round pick on top of the 3 first-round picks, and it's just not happening. So that's unfortunate, but thought I'd try. Yeah, there's nothing I can really do, I don't think. I've scattered around the NHL for a little bit, and there's no other move that would really make sense. It's just an unfortunate bit of luck there that we had with the injuries this year. So I think we just need to move past it and hope that the roster that we currently have can just get it done somehow. I mean, you have McKenzie on the first line with Korpikoski and Oshie, and then you have Pelton and White and Grabner. It's looking pretty brutal without our usual first line there, but hopefully our defense and our goaltending can get it done for us, because the scoring might dry up a little bit over the next couple months. So we are at the Olympic break now, and I do not see any option to join a national team, because if I try to click on a national team roster, it just takes us to the Atlanta Thrashers roster. So if I get a prompt, then I guess we'll take over a national team. But unless that happens, I don't see any indication that we're going to be able to take control over a national team, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, I'm even looking at the takeover team screen, and we go to national teams. There's no national teams here. So I'm just presuming that that is not going to happen. So I guess we'll just advance past February. We'll go into March. Yeah, we're at the trade deadline now. I didn't get any notifications regarding any Olympic tournament or anything, so that's unfortunate. But as far as our roster goes, I think we just have to deal with what we have. There's no move that I could realistically make right now. And I could see Kovalchuk coming back for the playoffs, but I think Nash and Stahl are done. I think they may, at the very least, miss the first, second, possibly even third round. Kovalchuk, once again, he should be back at latest the second round, I would say. But it's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough go. So out of every team's trade block, I think the most likely team that we would trade with would be the Toronto Maple Leafs, because they have Franzen and Antropov on the block. So they would be rather easy to trade for. However, Franzen's injury tendency worries me, especially given our recent history with injuries. But I guess it wouldn't hurt just as some backup as well as Antropov. Maybe get both of them in the same deal, because we could certainly use some help at forward right now. I mean, once again, we're not in a bad position, 37, 19, and 4, but it would definitely be very unfortunate if we were to lose anyone else to injury before Kovalchuk or Stahl or Nash came back. And once again, we're probably going to be without Stahl and Nash for the remainder of this season, including playoffs. So, I think we need to make a trade here for Franzen and Antropov. So I'll give them a first and the rights to Sateri. I know it says they will accept this offer, but we'll try it and then see what they say. Oh, we can't even offer it. It just says this offer is too weak. You have to increase your offer to make this possible. Okay, well, I'll add third, maybe? No. Another second? No. Okay. I mean, I don't know how much they're expecting for these two guys, but clearly more than I'm willing to give up. So I guess we'll just get, who would I rather have? I guess it'd be Franzen, because he's definitely the better player, but he's, once again, far more injury prone than Antropov is. I don't know if I would want to give up a first for him. I'll try a second and the rights to Sateri. Okay, so they like a second and a third in Sateri for Franzen. This is a little bit more than I wanted to give up, but nonetheless, I think it's necessary just to get some extra help in there. So there you go, Franzen, now a member of your Atlanta Thrashers. Let's hope he holds up. So we did something, but that was about all we could do, I think. That was realistically possible. Clearly, trading for Thornton wasn't possible. As nice as that would have been, that simply was not happening. So I think we'll just go the rest of the season now and hope for the best. I mean, it's not a major player, but geez, these injuries. Broken hand for Tyler Kennedy for 2 to 3 months. Yikes. Ooh, thank goodness. So Kovalchuk is finally back, roughly 5 days before the start of the playoffs. So that was certainly brutal. But luckily, we're still in the playoff spot. And actually, I believe we're somehow still first in the division. So I guess we've been making do with what we have. But it's certainly a good thing Kovalchuk is back. And unfortunately, it looks like Pikkanen's actually down now with an injury. Luckily, it's only a black eye. It's not too serious, it doesn't look like. But injuries just have not been kind to us at all this season. I mean, we have Vasicek on our first line center. And we have finished the season 48, 30, and 4 with 100 points. And you know what? We're still first in our division, so I will certainly take it. Not going to be easy by any stretch during the playoffs, just given that, of course, we still have injuries to Rick Nash, Kennedy, who's pretty good depth, and you have Stahl for 2 or 3 more weeks, so he might actually be back by, I would say, the second round, maybe the end of the second round. But Nash, I think, is gone for good for these playoffs. We're going to have to make do without him, though. I mean, we managed pretty well during the regular season without them, but obviously playoffs are a whole different animal. So as far as points go in the regular season, you have Oshie with 69 and 70 games. Once again, all this is all over the place due to all the injuries that we had. Boyle with 59 points in 80 games. So once again, great pickup last year. Continues to be effective this year. Franzen with 51 points total on the season. How many of those were with us? He had 8 points with us in 22 games. All right, well, not as effective as I hoped, but I guess he was something. Better than putting a one-star player in there. Then Wisnowski, you have 49 points in 79 games, so he did his job this year. Kovalchuk with 45 points in 40 games. Pikkanen with 41 and 78, so right around where he usually is. Last year, he actually had 59 points, so he absolutely tore it up last year, but that's just not how things went this year, unfortunately, for basically anybody. Korpikoski with 39 points, Higgins with 38, Grabner with 37, Pelton with 35, continues to be effective into his late 30s. Ludman with 28 points, White with 27, 24 for Vasicek, 20 for Phillips, 18 for Christensen, 16 for Kaberle, 9 for Knubel, 3 for Bordelot and Mashinter, 1 for Samala, and let's see, in goal you have Niemi with a 9-13 and Pavlich with a 9-12. And then let's check out all of our injured players' stats. You have Stahl with 57 points in 43 games. Oh, we're going to miss that so much. McKenzie with 30 points in 77 games. He should be back soon. I think his injury is only day-to-day. Nash with 16 points in 25 games. Once again, he's probably done. And then Kennedy with 7 points in 40 games. So that all being done, I think we can see who we have in the playoffs now. And that would be the New York Rangers, who are 44, 33, and 5 on the regular season. And it'll be interesting to see if the same issue happens this year as what happened last year with the playoffs, with the whole mix-up with the teams not being in the correct conferences. And I don't know, that was confusing. But it looks like for right now, we have an Eastern Conference team. So that being said, I will end this one off here. And in the next one, we will do the year number 9 playoffs, where we hopefully can obtain our second Stanley Cup in 3 years. See you guys then.